All right, thank you very much for this opportunity to share my experience. Um, More so that I'm currently a master's student, so my experience will be different from Chukuma. And then I have an arts background, and I'm also currently applying for a PhD. So I'll be sharing the experience as one who also is in the process of going to a higher program as well. So I like to share my screen.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. But just to get us started, the idea of choosing a program that aligns with your
Do you
career
want to
path.
use screen slideshow? Okay.
Okay.
Start from the beginning. Let's see your beginning slide. Let's feed our eyes.
That was just a title, nothing much.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so the idea for, choosing a course that applies to your kind of experience, your background, your education is very important. I'm enrolled in a master's program in technical communication, which is arts related, though predominantly an engineering institution, because we have support to the engineering majors. And of course, that accounts for why I teach a course where all my students are engineering majors. So you need to arrive at a program, take your time to go through all of the requirements and see that your entire trajectory, either your previous degree or your career experience, aligns with where you're going to and what you would like to do in the future. Because some persons, even after getting admission and getting funding, you have challenges accessing the US visa, because it becomes a huge challenge even convincing the authorities that you actually are going for further studies. So you need to arrive at a program that really shows that it's a pattern that you're heading somewhere, and then there's an appreciable evidence that you want to continue in that path. And if it's something a little different from what you did previously, then you need to also come up with something really concrete to show for why you're taking a different route. For me, for my master's programs, for instance, I got a scholarship, which was just $14,000. And I was admitted in spring, so it wasn't enough for the program. But then I was assured that if I deferred to fall of 2022, I'll be offered teaching assistantship. And the teaching assistantship would cover for the tuition itself, and then with monthly stipends. And then I'll be needing to take care of my health insurance and cover the deficit. So the master's program I'm currently enrolled in, it's not fully funded. It covers just about 71.5% of the funding requirement. But then there are other schools offering the same course, technical communication, that offer full funding at master's level. Yeah, but then at the time I was applying, I only applied to one school, so I more or less had all my eggs in one basket. So, which is not the usual practice or the advice I would give. Like, have multiple choices, so you can really have a pool you can have more wiggle room to choose from. So if you're considering for a master's program like mine, which is not it's non-thesis, I only get enrolled in courses, 3 courses every semester, and I'm required to pass and have a minimum of 3.5 GPA to maintain my teaching assistantship. It means that if you perform less than that, you will not be qualified to teach. And therefore you have to bear the financial implication of your study program. So all of those things need to be factored in. What program are you applying for? Is it a PhD? So a PhD could offer you, this one is aside from scholarships, right? At teaching assistantships or research assistantship may not necessarily take the route where Chukwuma had to apply for a scholarship and had to go through a series of interviews. It could take a different route. Some you may not even have be invited for any interview, but they'll work with your documents, statement of purpose, and a strong personal statement, and strong CV. My CV at the time, I was detailed. It was over 12 pages. So everything about my life was clear enough for them to act on. So, and then you want to be also very clear on the facilities available in the program. Which ones, what sort of things would you like to be working on? Are those things available in that program? So you don't just apply to your program and then get there and then start finding faults here and there. Do you have faculty members who are really capable of taking you through the journey in that sort of area you are interested in? So that's one key component you need to look at. So funding is usually available, but you have to compare. Like right now, I'm applying for PhDs, and I look at what they want to cover, and if I don't see that they're maybe covering my health insurance, for instance, I don't even get to read every information about them. So I'm particular on everything concerning the program, because it's a huge burden. It's expensive. Like if I were to pay for my present program, right, like I'll be spending a minimum of 40 million naira every semester to pay. So you want to be very concerned about what sort of funding is available for you. And then some other things you also need to look at is, even with the application itself, like, you can apply for, if you're applying to several schools, for instance, you don't want to be paying application fees to all of these schools. So you can actually interact with the program coordinators. They give waivers. Sometimes when you attend seminars or webinars of this kind organized by those departments where those programs you're interested in, they would give you waivers, because it's expensive. Some of those application fees, $50, $85, $75, $100, even $120 for international applicants. And it doesn't hurt just to write an email, and you don't want to start your first conversation with a program coordinator talking about a waiver. So you would start an email just asking about, tell me more about the program, that you've seen some stuff on the website and you need clarity, or what requirements they need. Some particular departments waive requirement for you to prove that you're proficient in English in those standardized tests. Why it may be waived in the department, the general graduate school may still have that as a requirement. So you need to make those sort of engagements with the program coordinators to be sure that the program that you're going for may not require that. I'll give an example. I applied to Utah State University for a PhD at some point, and they were really burnt on having me submit a test result on English. But I said, no, my previous degrees in Nigeria were administered in English. And for the fact that I was enrolled in a program in English and Technical Communication department here in the US, and I was also teaching in the department. I should be exempt from that. They refused, argued with me, but in the end, because of that sort of insistence on my own part, they had to change that law. So anyone applying from Nigeria into that department would not be required to present any test. So, I mean, you can make such arguments and you could be considered. Sometimes you also want to look at the location of the university. We don't want to go to a place where it might be too expensive. So try to look at the accommodation, expenses, how much you're going to be spending. So you don't go looking for loans. So all these things are wired in my search. Other persons may just look at, just the program itself, look at things that are just academic, but I try to look at every component. So I'm not taking unawares. Well, these are the usual requirements to submit. Statement of purpose, diversity statement. Sometimes, like I was required to submit a teaching statement explaining sort of experience I had in teaching. So I submitted one for my master's program, and then some PhD programs would also require a teaching philosophy or teaching statement. So these are the usual requirements. Some would insist that you have a website with your portfolio clearly available for download or for them to check who you are and what you've been doing or contributing to that sort of sector. These are the usual requirements. But then when you're looking for people to recommend you, be sure that those persons have email addresses that are tied to organizations, because most of those portals don't take emails, Gmail or Yahoo. So that's a concern as well. It may appear to be something little, but then if you have some persons you would want to be your referee, or and they don't have an email that will sync into the portal, that could be a huge concern as well. Well, then one other thing you could do is to interact with current students enrolled in that sort of program you're interested in. They are happy to interact with you. Send them an email, just something inviting. They will respond to you, tell you how they did it in their own time, and that might just be the way to start. You have SOPs available pretty much in all disciplines online, so you can pull them out and see how you can frame yours. Just glean some ideas from there, and that will give you a good start for your own documents. I mean, the information you've got there. Okay, that's it for this. I want to quickly share. I have a dashboard, right? Because I'm currently, I have just one semester left for my program. My commencement is scheduled for, I think, May 10th or so. Next year, well, I'll graduate, and I'll be studying my PhD in August of next year. I already have 2 admissions because I applied January this year, but I just deferred to next year so I could just finish this program. So I'm applying to more schools. So I'm sharing experience of someone who is currently in the process of applying for a PhD. So let me share. All right, this is my dashboard, for instance. Like, there's a whole lot of information you need to process. So if I don't want to copy things and drop them maybe in a Microsoft Word document, it might just be too much for me to manage. So I try to create like a table where I can manage everything, every contact I need to have. This is the department itself, the website. This is the application portal. This is the contact, and all these persons I've contacted them. I've been having chats with them. And it's usually in my second or third chat that I request a waiver for my application fee for schools that I insist on application fees. Like this school, University of Colorado, the first 50 people who apply to this program, it's free for them. This ones I asked them for a waiver, they